Good morning, everyone, or afternoon again, whatever time of day it might be for you when you're watching this. Today's episode is multifamily housing. Woo. So over at the Sawmill, it's been hard to get employees because I don't have a place for them to stay. So we're going to make probably a 3-story apartment building, 3D print it, right, and it's going right over here. Come on over a little closer. So a lot of you folks had mentioned, because I've made a hole in my layout table, putting different things in here, everything from a gravel pit to a pond. Those are great ideas. However, over on the other end of this layout, way over, it's kind of a quarry already. That's a quarry kind of a setting over at Grant Station. So I'm going to be putting an apartment building right here. It'll be pretty good size, long enough to cover this whole hole, and it will be, I think, 3 stories tall, with possibly, a penthouse suite, so to speak, up on the top floor. That should be pretty cool, but it'll be close where workers could actually just walk to work, or if somebody worked at the train station. Quite a few options. So that's where it's at. So let's go over and just take a look on the desk and see what I've got planned for a layout. Little side trip. On the way over to the desk, I stopped here because I'll cut these to size for the floors on each level. And this is what I got. This is just, it's a thin plastic. And guess what's on the other side? For sale. So I'll just put that on there. I'm letting that dry, so then I can cut it to the correct size. Okay, now we'll head over there. This is obviously a for sale sign turned over, but I wanted to use this so I could sketch out my pieces. This would represent, this is what I'm printing out now. And this will actually, it'll be just like that, but it'll be up 1 story. So the gray floor that I've painted over there, it will look something like that. Something like that. Haven't got it all positively figured out yet. So I'm printing out more of these. I need one. It'll basically be 2 per floor. Now, 2nd floor, 3rd floor. And then these wall sections, it takes 2 sections for the front, 2 for the back, and these little side ones will go on each side. Get them the right way up. So that's the way it's going to go. Here's another thing, another cool thing. I threw it out there for you folks to try to help me out with my glue gun dilemma, and a lot of you suggested CA glue, and for some reason I just could not understand what CA glue was, and then you folks kindly helped me out with that. So I ordered some packages, super glue. I guess really that's what it is. So I'm going to start using that for gluing these together. And I got small packages. Come on over there. Like that. So, because my experience in the past is that once you open it, it doesn't last long. This is a super glue gel as compared to the really runny liquid stuff. And that has been another thing I disliked. Oh, I put that on backwards. Oh well. Disliked about that. With it being so runny, you couldn't control it well. The rumor is, from what I've read, is that this is a gel and it's easy to just get it out there. So we're about to test this and find out. I'll just show you what's printing over there right now, making all that racket. 8 minutes left. So that's been, it was total time 39 minutes. And so that's the second of 6 that I need. So what I usually do is let that run while I go do other things. Seems to work out much better. So here's my template for the cuts I need. I think I'll start with, anytime I try something new, it's like, I don't know if I can do it. But you know what? If you don't try it, you'll never do it. If you do try it, sometimes you find out you can't do it. Excuse me. So, what's the best way? Is it laying down? I just have to mate those up together. My concern is it's going to stick to the table. I don't know. Well, let's try it. Super glue cyanoacrylate. Somebody say that 5 times fast. Cyanoacrylate. No acrylate or something. Okay, I'm taking this off. So apparently I've got to puncture that hole. I can see it. Okay. Okay, I like the feeling of that. That is not nearly as messy as the hot glue gun so far. It does keep coming though. Okay, I'll cover that. So while that's hardening, the 3D printer stopped. I'll print out another piece. Well, let's see if I had success here. That actually feels kind of flimsy. Because it feels so weak, I'm not going to peel it off at this point. Boy, I keep wanting to switch the doors over. Wow, that grabs pretty quickly. Sorry, I gotta just hold it. You can't see. Sorry. Gonna just try this in place, kind of. This will actually not, the base, the foundation will cover the entire hole, and this will sit back just a little bit. So I think that's going to work great. I would say that's enough for maybe 3 apartments on one floor. So 3, 6, maybe 9 apartments, and I'm not sure, but maybe a penthouse suite for like the boss, you know? Not me. The other boss. Wait, I'm the boss of Ken's Sawmill. Okay. We'll let that continue to cure. Well, the paper did come off this side okay. It just peeled right off. Didn't stick to the glue. That's pretty cool. Just a very little, whoa, I bumped that pretty good and it held together. I like that. All right. So now the foundation, so to speak, is pretty well dry. I'll cut that to the correct dimension. I have to cut one of these at 5.5 inches first. And hopefully I can just cut it with these. So I want 5.5. That'll be right there. Well, let's see if I can ruin this. That one's okay. These 2 middle ones are a little thicker. cut it off. Kind of need to smooth that up. Might just run that on the belt sander and smooth that down. Okay, I didn't show sanding that with a belt sander because it probably wasn't really safe. It was okay. I just put the belt sander upside down in the vise. That's good. That's perfect. Okay, let's see if I can get this glued up. Really interested to see how this glue holds as far as drying out. Okay. So that is that. Of course, I mean that was obvious, right? That was that. So I'm going to make the foundation the same size as this, which will mean cutting it with scissors. So the length, I made it so that the length would be perfect. And I want the footing, this will be underneath, this will be up one floor. 5 inches. This, just point of interest, this for sale sign was $2.49. When I put it together, I'll leave this edge facing the view. This will be the backside cut because I probably won't cut it that straight. It might not be bad, I don't know. I had contemplated 3D printing a floor, but I couldn't really find anything online that I liked that would work well. Plus, it would use so much filament. I think at $2.49, I'm way ahead. Plus, it's perfectly flat, and it's rigid enough. I like that. There it is. Save that for something, I don't know what. So that's actually what it will look like for the second floor. That will be on top of that. It's going to have a railing. Should be really nice looking. I have to print out railing. Yep. Okay. So there it is. I am ready to glue that on. Well, what's it look like? Let's see. Something like that. So down below here, I'm in a process of making some zip sheathing. So it'll have the colors and it'll have the look of sheathing on that first floor. The second floor walls, I'm going to paint probably the wood color like this and show it in construction phase. But this is where we're at right now. Okay, I changed my mind in midstream. I covered the gray foundation with tape because I kind of would. I want the walls the brown. Khaki. A lot of you have asked what this is. It's 2X Ultra Primer, Paint and Primer, Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch, Gloss Khaki. There. Now I'll take this right off real quick. So it hopefully doesn't peel the paint off my foundation. So far, so good. Nice, good. Good. I won't make that same mistake, I hope, with the next one. I'll paint the walls before I attach it to the foundation. Okay. That looks pretty good. I like that. Okay, now I'll paint the floor. Well, so this is the first floor. That's the foundation all the way around the outside of the walls. And so now I'm going to sheathe the first floor walls to give it that effect of it's still going to be under construction, but I'm going to sheathe it. And if something else came up in the night, I don't know what happened. This is a shop, so occasionally there's a mouse or a squirrel that has gotten in here. Let's see what happened. These were all nice, neat piles. The lumber in there that had been sawn was in order, nice, orderly fashion on the tables. Something happened over here with the truck. One of the logs is knocked off. I don't know what happened. Okay, we're going to take this over to the desk and sheathe it. So nowadays, to be up to date to code and everything, what do they sheathe it with? But zip sheathing. Yes, I made that. I printed out an image of zip sheathing, and I've got maybe an hour into getting a template made so I can make multiple ones on a thick cardstock. So now this is to scale. I'll cut that and glue it on there. So I cut it. That's all to scale. The thing is, look, there's no doors or windows. So I went and marked all the windows. Here's the this will indeed be tedious. I have to cut out every single window and door. Be right back. I took a utility knife, 60 cuts in this little thing. Hopefully I notched them all through. I don't know. Isn't that fun? Look at that. What will I do with all these cutoffs? Let's see how we made out here. Put this, get my wood scraps. I like it. Very nice. Probably got 15 minutes into this, marking and cutting out the windows. Now I'll stick it on. All right, we got one wall all sheathed. I think that looks pretty realistic. I like that. So let's put some, because these are apartments as well. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 apartments. We need some handrails out here just for protection so the kids don't run off into the road and whatnot before we get fences up and things. So we'll go back to the desk and put some handrail on. I just finished assembling the roof section for the top floor of this apartment building. Now I need to get the white painted so it matches the rest of the wood. Over to the paint store, paint department. Well, this will be a little tricky because I already have, I can't spray directly in there. I'll get what I can. Let's see if we can turn that over. Whoa, that would be bad. Hey, get on there. All right. That looks pretty good. I'll have to let that dry overnight. All right, so I've attached the walls to the floor in this setting. The next thing I need to do is attach all the guardrails, or the railing, handrail, all the way around. I've already done it on this other one. Let me just show you that. I need quite a few more pieces of handrail. I don't have enough. But this is with the handrail all the way around. Let's go set this one over on top of the first floor. This is where it really gets exciting to me. It starts looking like what I envision. Wow. One more floor to go, and then the roof system. And here goes the third floor. Wow. Holy smokes. That is giant. I think we better put a roof on this thing. Does that look big or what? Wow. So theoretically, that's 12 apartments, and it would be enough for if one person from each family worked at the sawmill, that's 12 employees. Just a little side note. So I pulled all of the controls off of the table and painted it so it blends in with everything now. Just a little side note. So I just want to run around the village for a minute, see what we got going on. Going by the greenhouse, that little trumpet player guy. Oh, this is just too cool. There hasn't been anything new going on with the garage building over here in town. Been busy building that skyscraper of a building over there. Coming around the back side. That thing is ginormous. Wow. 3 stories tall. Coming over to the log yard, sawmill. Starting to get some activity over there. Here's a jolly red giant coming over. That's me. There it is. Wow. Thanks for watching this video. That's been a whole lot of fun building that basically from scratch. Just making it up, trying to figure it out with bits and pieces, but I think it's going to work really great. We'll get a parking lot, maybe a playground over to the left between that and the little chapel over there. That'll be fun. So I'm going to run the train around a little bit. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment, hit the like button, share it, and if you're not a subscriber, I wish you would subscribe. Thank you very much. Have a great day. All aboard. Here we go.